Hello friends, my name is Michelle Fondin and I'm the author of Help! I Think My Loved One is an Alcoholic, a survival guide for lovers, family, and friends. And welcome to our forum on alcoholism, alcohol addiction, and loving an alcoholic. Today we're going to talk about the next 24 hours with your alcoholic loved one. Now here's the deal. You know how hard it can be if you have an alcoholic loved one in your life, and the crazy things that can happen even in the midst of 24 hours. But that is not why I made this video, or I'm making this video with you right now. The reason is because in recovery groups, in al-anon and in AA, there's this expression is just for today, or one day at a time, or easy does it. So you think about those slogans, and really what they're referring to is living in the present moment, that now is all you have. Today is all that you've got. And so it's about focusing on the present moment, on appreciating the present moment, on not blowing things out of proportion and making things worse than they are, and that really having gratitude and being grateful for everything in your life at this moment right now. Now, I totally understand. There are some crazy things that have happened in my love relationship with my alcoholic loved one where we didn't know where he was. We didn't know if he was okay. We didn't know if he was still alive. And those moments are super, super scary. And you know this too if you have a loved one who has passed out and slept somewhere else, or they didn't call, or they went missing for several days even. And the anguish, the frustration, the anxiety, just the waiting and waiting for that phone call or waiting for the person to show up at the door, it can be anxiety provoking. And a lot of times it's easy to get wrapped up into those feelings and get wrapped up into the worry and the anguish of all that situation, when you need to remember that you need to take care of yourself first, that your alcoholic loved one, if they are an adult, they are indeed an adult. If they are a minor child, obviously there are more things you can do to get them back to you and hopefully get them the help that they need. But if you're dealing with an alcoholic who is an adult, they're responsible for themselves. You're not responsible for them. Believe me, I've fallen into the trap so many times of ruining my day, really, because I was really worried about him and where he was and if he was all right, because he didn't phone, he wasn't picking up the phone, or he would just disappear. There was a place that he was supposed to be and he never showed up, and then no phone connection, or the phone was shut off, or the phone battery was dead. And you really think about, like, what if? It's a reality that alcoholism and drug addiction kills people, and you never know when that's going to happen. They say there are 3 outcomes to alcoholism and drug addiction. And the first outcome is they go get help. So they go into a treatment program, they get sobriety somehow through detox, rehab, AA, NA, counseling, therapy, whatever it may be. And the second outcome would be that they go insane. They're institutionalized. They either go insane because the drugs and alcohol just make their brains completely non-functional, or they're institutionalized by other means, by arrests, by drunken driving, citations and arrests, domestic abuse, things like that, or crime, other forms of crime, and they're institutionalized. And the third outcome is death. And it's really interesting because when I was interviewing a lot of people in AA, what they told me was that since they've been in AA, which is kind of strange, but the fact that they make a lot of friendships with people who are recovering alcoholics and addicts, that since they've been in AA, that they've gone to more funerals than before they ever got sober. So it's such a devastating disease that you just never know. And so for the next 24 hours, it's really important that you put your trust in God or your higher power in order to get you through the next 24 hours, especially if your alcoholic loved one is missing, or you just don't know how they're doing, if they're well, if they're passed out. You don't know. So what you need to do is just really take care of yourself. If you have small children at home, or even big children, you need to go ahead and go about your day. Again, thanking God for your blessings, looking around you and just having something to be grateful for. I'm grateful that I have clothes on my back. I'm grateful I have a fabulous house. I'm grateful that I have a job. I'm grateful for the blue sky. I'm grateful for the sun. And just focusing moment to moment on what you are grateful for and just living, staying rooted in the present moment. Because I can't do anything about my alcoholic loved one. I cannot do anything for him. I can't stop him from drinking. I can't stop him from wanting to drink. And I certainly can't get him into an AA meeting. There is absolutely no way on earth that I can do that. He has to make the decision for himself to stop drinking, to stop want to drink, and also to get into a meeting or rehab center or a detox program. There's absolutely nothing I can do. Now, I've wasted years of my life worrying and obsessing about this, and I'm sure you have too with your alcoholic loved one. I'm sure you've wasted years of your life just obsessing about it and trying to figure out ways and being this manipulative person behind the scenes. Not for bad. I'm not saying that's bad. I'm not saying that you trying to figure out how to get your loved one to stop drinking or trying to get him or her into a rehab program, that's a bad thing. It's absolutely not a bad thing. It's bad to obsess about it, because when you obsess about it and you're planning these schemes or scheming things out, you're not living in the present moment. You're not appreciating your own gifts and talents that you have to give to the world. You're not enjoying your life. You're not being fully present in your life. You're not being fully present for your family and the people that are near and dear to you other than the alcoholic. So when you're scheming and manipulating, trying to figure out how to figure out his or her life, you're not living your own life. Now, again, this can be really difficult to do. And because it's difficult, that's why in recovery programs, they say the next 24 hours, just live for today. And that doesn't mean you don't make plans for the future. It's really important to make plans for the future. It's important that we have a life purpose, that we help to live out our life purpose. And we do that by baby steps. We do that by taking minor little steps day by day in order to live out our life purpose. So what can I do today in the next 24 hours to live out my life purpose? To love more people, to be more caring toward others, and also to be more caring toward myself, especially yourself if you are the classic enabler, which I don't like that word. I've already told you guys a million times. But if you're that caretaker type who excessively takes care of others, how can you take care of yourself first? What are the steps you can take in order to do that, to accomplish that goal? And then once you've nourished yourself through exercise, meditation, mindfulness, spiritual literature, Tai Chi, yoga, Qigong, energy healing, massage, whatever it is, you need to take care of yourself first in order to be able to take care of others. So what can you do for the next 24 hours to be able to take care of yourself? It could be just taking some quiet time to sit on the couch and read a book and have a cup of tea. It could be sitting on the floor and coloring with your kids. Just get out the crayons and start coloring in a coloring book. It could be calling a friend who you know is in need and they just want an ear. They just want someone to talk to. It's about calling someone, just giving a nice word, saying, hey, I saw you the other day. I saw that you're looking really great and I just wanted to tell you that. It's by giving someone else a compliment. It's by spending some time with people who need your time other than the alcoholic. And so I think you see my pattern here. When we look at life as one day at a time, when we look at life as taking it one step at a time and not focusing on obsessing about how things are going to be 2 weeks down the road, 2 months down the road, or 2 years down the road, we fully enjoy this moment more so that when we look back on our memories and we look back on our life, we can see that we just stacked up a lot of these baby steps in order to make our lives better in the long run. And that future, that potential future, is going to be better if you focus on every 24 hours. Do you see how that works? It works that if you live in the present moment, you accumulate better memories because you're more mindful and present, so that as you look back from 2 years down the road, you'll see that. You'll see the rewards. You'll reap the rewards of what you did throughout all those accumulation of 24 hours for 2 years. So looking at that and really enjoying each moment and not worrying about tomorrow. There's a Bible verse in the book of Matthew in the Gospels in the New Testament that says, Can all your worries add a single moment to your life? And I thought that was so beautiful because worry doesn't add anything to our lives. In fact, it takes away from our lives. So instead of worrying, just focus on what you can do. Remembering the serenity prayer, God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And so as you go through your next 24 hours, focus on what you can change. What can you do? You could bake a beautiful cake with someone you love. You could celebrate a milestone, whatever that milestone is. It could be your kids getting a great report card, whatever the case may be. Just celebrate those milestones, enjoy each moment, and take time for you. Thank you so much for joining me. Please subscribe to my channel below, share this video with friends, family, and your dog. Please support me on Patreon. I don't get paid for these videos. www.patreon.com/Michelle S. Fondin. And I will see you in the next video.